Good morning. Welcome back, and more importantly, welcome aboard. You've timed that well. You're joining Mark in the galley as he prepares a bacon bap and a cup of tea for us.
Paul has been cleaning out for rainwater gullies that form part of the frame that the deck boards sit on at the stern of the boat. We've found that a bottle brush is very good at reaching the parts that other brushes just can't reach. The reason Paul is cleaning the gullies is that we've noticed a few spots of rust around these, and there are parts where the paint has been worn off from the lifting or dragging up of the deck boards over the years. The deck boards are of course lifted to give access to the engine bay, where we do the engine checks before setting off each time. So Paul is cleaning the metalwork and gullies before treating the rusty and worn areas with a coat of rust treatment product. We've used the old favourite Furtan.
Other rust treatment products are available. With the deck boards raised, there's not really the room out on the stern deck for both of us to be there without getting covered in Furtan, which is why Mark has opted to be chef and scullery maid.
I would just like to mention that none of the products featured in this vlog are paying for any form of promotion. There is no product placement adverts going on here at all. I'm just using what we had on board the boat this particular weekend.
It's Saturday the 20th of April 2019, and if you've watched our previous vlog, you'll know that we are moored up on the Leicester Arm of the Grand Union Canal between bridges 25 and 26.
As you can see, cooking on a narrowboat is pretty much the same as cooking anywhere else. Our galley has pretty much everything we need to sustain ourselves during cruises. The hob and oven are gas, the fridge is 240 volts and has a decent freezer compartment in it. That's essential for making ice to cool down drinks. There's also hot and cold running water. As I start to serve up, I let Paul know that breakfast is ready when he is. He applies the finishing touches to the area he is working on and climbs out of the engine bay. You'll notice that we have two sauce bottles on the go. If you were having a bacon bap with us, which would you have, red or brown? Let us know your favourite in the comments below. After eating his bacon bap and drinking his tea, Paul hits the duck hatch with a scraper and with some sandpaper. He has spotted that there are a few rust patches appearing, and whilst he's got the Furtan out, he wants to apply some here too.
We allow the rust treatment product to dry, and after a spot of lunch at around 1:30, we attached the centre lines and removed the mooring fenders. There haven't been many boats passing us, and typically as soon as we are ready to go, there seems to be a convoy. We wait whilst the other boats disappear. Just when we thought the coast was clear and we set off, there's another one. Looks like there's a bit of a party happening on the towpath. It's good weather for it.
As we said in the last vlog, there's some excellent places to moor along this stretch of the Leicester Arm after Bridge 26. There is plenty of metal arm coat to chain or pin yourself to. We pass a family in their inflatable canoe and pass under Bridge 28, just after which there is a winding hole. Paul has a nosy in the electric cupboard and notices that the solar energy production isn't as good as he thinks it could be. He suddenly appears with a soft brush and launches into giving the panels a quick brush over to see if that improves things. He seems to be happy enough when he next checks the meter. All is good. Let's move this along a little bit by having some more of those 10-second cutaway video clips. Here we go.
After Bridge 37 there were some moored boats. Although we didn't see any spinning owl sign here, we still slowly ticked past them as all good boaters do.
"45 minutes later, we were finally making the turn onto the Welford Arm. You would not believe the amount of footage that's been left out of this vlog. At just 1.6 kilometres long, the Welford Arm transports you from the Leicester line of the Grand Union Canal to the picturesque village of Welford. The canal was opened in 1814 and originally built as a navigable feeder linking the Welford Reservoir and the Solby Reservoir to the old Grand Union Canal, now the Leicester section of the Grand Union Canal. The canal has a single lock and ends with a wharf at Welford. This allowed coal and other produce to be brought to the town, serving the needs of the local industry. One of the other produce included limestone, which was turned into quicklime in a complex of 7 kilns that lined the wharf. This is the largest kiln site on the Grand Union. You can still see the remains of the kilns today. There were originally 3 mills along the Welford Arm: Bosworth Mill beside Bridge 1, then Naseby Mill, and finally Welford Mill, just before Welford Lock. Welford Mill had a lift bridge to allow access to it, but sadly all that remains of the lift bridge now is a single wooden post. As less goods were transported by canal boat during the first decades of the 20th century, the Welford Arm became increasingly unused. When trade stopped, the canal fell into decline and in 1949 ceased to be used for navigation. The short length of the Welford Arm turned out to be something of a blessing. When the Old Union Canal Society had formed in 1964 to protect all local waterways, it took up the cause of the Welford Arm, fighting for the restoration of the canal, something that was feasible precisely because there was so little of it. The Welford Arm subsequently reopened in 1969 following 15 months of work and a removal of 10,000 tons of mud. It became a showpiece of what can be achieved by small teams of volunteers when it came to restoring canals. It's now home to 2 marinas, a pub and the remains of those lime kilns. It's a small but perfectly formed gem, and one that might not have existed were it not for the dedication of volunteers who recognised a local treasure when they saw it. As we approach the lock, look out for the wooden post on the left-hand side. That's the remaining part of the mill's lift bridge. After a quick game of rock, paper, scissors, it was decided that I would be the lock keeper today. The lock was in a half-full, half-empty state, so I opened the paddles to lower the water. Paul is at the tiller. Bet he wished he'd done the lock now. We hadn't realised we were being followed, but a crew member from the boat behind us came up to help out with the lock. A boater coming in the other direction appears and we talk about how busy the end of the arm is. We're told that there should be room for one more boat to moor up at the end. The place where they had been might be long enough for our boat. She looked at the crew member from the boat behind us and said that they might be able to squeeze in somewhere. I hop back aboard and give Paul the bleak news about mooring places. We head on out of the lock at tick over speed, as all good boaters do when passing moored boats. The gaps we see appear to be too small for us, but should be good for the boat following us, so that's good news, isn't it? Right, let's do if you've enjoyed watching our adventure, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment below, and please do subscribe if you haven't already. Ding the bell if you want to be notified when we next post. Hold on, we could fit in that gap, that's definitely long enough. Just opposite the marina entrance is a winding hole. We go just slightly past, back up, turn the boat around, and then moor up in the gap we just passed. You don't need to see us winding. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.